Hey, so I know someone very well that owns a very large security company. This is where the creepy comes in. Stay tuned. Because I had a good discussion with him and we were talking a lot about business. I've had my company for 15 years. He's had his company for over 20 years. And we were just talking about different, like, outside of the box techniques we do for hiring and what we've learned over the years. And he shared something that's pretty creepy. It made me think of like something you would do with a lab rat or something, but it's also freaking awesome. What he does is when he has people coming in for a job, he has them set up to just go and sit in a room. Like there's nothing in the room but just a black table with nothing on it except for one thing. They're just by themselves. So they're just told, like, you're waiting here for your interview. Go wait in that room. There's one thing sitting on the table. It's this book, by the way. It's and if you're listening on the podcast, it has the F-bomb in the title, but it's copied. It's Do the F-Bomb Work? Lowbrow advice for high-level creativity. Okay, so this book's just sitting there. By the way, this book is effing amazing. I keep talking about it. I'm about to have the author, Brian, on our show. The book is a visual, like, masterpiece. It's motivational. It's incredible. That's another story. Anyway, then he just sits there and creepily watches them on the tape. And what he pays attention for is, do they look at the book and look at it and read the title and be like in disgust and like put it away, like get that away from me? That has a asterisk bomb on it. Yuck. I don't, ugh. Or do they look at the book and be like, do the effing work? Wait, what? That's actually a pretty kick butt title. And start scrolling through the pages. And I don't even want to give this book away. It's incredible. It has a lot of F-bombs in it. That's his culture. And by the way, it makes it amazing. So what he does is then he comes in and based on how they engage with that book, that's like one of their next screening things right there. This book is so foundational to their culture. And by the way, as the owner, you're in charge of creating your own culture based upon your own core values and what you think's cool, what's not cool. That's on you, but it's so important. Some people, if they totally are against cussing and don't have that at all, they wouldn't have this as one of their core, like, major books, major parts of their company, a screening process for even hiring. But it's really important because he screens out right away, are they even like a fit for our culture? And this is really important. Him and I were talking about this in depth, and this is something that's universal. Regardless of what your culture is, you need to make sure when you're hiring that you hire someone that has the same core values, and you do your best to find out. And I share it much more like in my book too, but this isn't a plug for that, to find out what their core values really are and that they align with your company. Because skills, they could be the most skilled, they could have 50 MBAs. None of that freaking matters if they don't share your company's core values. Like, as a matter of fact, that is the first foundational, most important thing that you have to build off. Then everything else is built off from there. Then you measure in their skills and everything else that you do. But right away, that can check someone off the list. If you're able to find a way like he does, which is, by the way, I was joking with a creepy, it's freaking brilliant. And I'm sure he has them, that's a consent. They're a freaking security surveillance commercial company. How would you not know that you're being monitored? I'm sure he has signs everywhere. But that's not the point. It's so smart. And immediately he's paying attention to, because he's like, by the way, if we watch that and they give that an angry look and disgust and they want nothing to do with it, and we come in a minute and they're just like pushing it away, I'm just going to have a few quick questions, or whoever on my team's doing the interview, we're going to make it really brief and short and be like, okay, have an awesome day. You know, we might ask just quickly, well, what did you think about that book? What do you think about it? You know, just looking at it. And that's going to screen them in a quick way, just boom, to weed them out. But what you need to take away from this is the importance of, which way too many companies don't do. They get these freaking cheesy, horrible HR departments that you like subcontract. I made the mistake before, by the way, and remember, HR works for you. HR has to align with your core values. If you subcontract someone just because they're good at a service, if it's just an HR payroll company, if they don't align with your core values, they're gonna suck. You don't want them as part of your team also. The generic HR people are the ones that would be like, oh my God, don't you dare have this book as part of the interview process where you sit there and watch them on a creepy tape. That's not in compliance with blah, blah, blah. No. First of all, we do a background check and all the generic, stupid, and then you end up with a bunch of mediocre, horrible people that don't fit in with your culture. And by the way, if they're not a good fit, if something like this offends them and this is your culture, that's nothing against them. It's just about them finding another job somewhere else where they do fit the culture. That's truly what you want, because when you have the unified core values, that's where the true unity gets built, which I talk about all the time, leads to the unstoppable force of momentum. So next time you're thinking about doing an interview, just throw a little creepy on top of it like my man does. By the way, he's going to be on a future show. We've had so many great conversations, so much wisdom. Love this dude. He cracks me up too. So that's it for today, everyone. Quick little leadership tip. Be a little creepier when you're doing your interviews, and make sure that the person that you're hiring, you figure out some ways that they align with your core values, because that is a foundational key. All right, never settle, never give up, and keep elevating beyond.